Perfect. We will start momentarily.
Recording in progress.
Let's come to a sitting posture that is comfortable for you, and you may gently close your eyes. If you can hear the sound of the bell, notice the disappearance of it, sustaining your awareness along with that disappearance, and hear it again. Gently breathe in, breathe out, and you will hear the bell again. You may transcend all your worries, fears, anxieties from this day. As you hear this sound and notice the disappearance of it. Now bring your body to an upright position. Breathe in, bringing your shoulders all the way up. And drop your shoulders as you breathe out. Breathe in, shoulders up. Breathe out, drop your shoulders. Breathe in, shoulders up. And drop your shoulders. Now quickly scan your body, especially in pressure points such as your closed eyes. Relax your eyes. Release and relax any tension, any tightness on your forehead. Release and relax the muscles of the back of your head. Release and relax any tension any tightness on your shoulders, your neck, as well as your upper back, mid back, and your lower back. Notice the movements of your chest with each breath you take, inhaling and exhaling. Just the natural movements of your body. Release and relax your abdominal muscles. With each breath, you allow peace in and allow letting go. Letting go of your past. The past cannot be edited. Letting go of your future plannings and worryings. Notice the experience of whatever that is happening here and now in this moment. To complete the body scanning, you may go further down to your knees. Along with that, your sitting bones, your shin bones, your ankles, the soles of your feet relaxed, your toes, and notice your surrounding. Before you started this meditation, you were actively sending signals inwardly via seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, physical sensations, and your thinking. Now your focus goes to establishing mindfulness with your in-breath and the out-breath. Mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out. Mindfully you breathe in, mindfully you breathe out. Pay attention to your breath little more, noticing the long and short nature of inhaling and exhaling. When your mind wanders away, ruminating or lacking focus, make this breath a delightful experience. Allow some tranquility to arise by letting go of mental activities and focusing on the breath coming in and going out. Do not try to focus too hard. Be gentle with yourself. You may notice each breath in a new way. Also, the other things that come and go, allow them to come and go. No suffering arises based on what comes and what goes away. There is no I, me, myself making in this present experience of being, simply mindfully aware. You breathe in and breathe out. Peace enters your heart. Peace enters your body. The natural flow of air, the peaceful energy settles in your body with no forceful pushing, rejecting, resenting, worrying, just being. Bring your attention back to your breath, however subtle your breath becomes. You notice, you catch the path of it. You are happy here and now. There is no arising of suffering. There is no wanting. There is no craving. There is no regret. You just become the presence, the peacefulness. You become the awareness, the openness, the expansiveness beyond the body experience. You experience the body, but you do not get involved with it. Notice the quiet and calm abiding in the next few minutes until you hear the gong. Sorry about that. Okay. Thank you for meditating with me. That was lovely. I appreciate you joining in person and online. And today we switch gear to a story time because we have been reading this book that proved to be a challenge for um, on some moments, but we managed to survive the reading of it. And I think we can use the content we learned in our upcoming teachings. This story is from the verses of the Dhammapada. The verse 200 is what we will discuss today. At one time, the Buddha happened to go on alms round to this village named Panchasala. And so going on alms round means that is the Buddha's only way of receiving food for the day. So he would bring his bowl and mindfully walk into the village, expecting to receive some food. And on this day, these villagers were busy. They did not pay attention to the Buddha. It was their festive season. Imagine in India, when a festive season comes, everybody gets busy going to places or going to performances. In this case, the story says that the villagers um, went to the riverside to have a bath. There were about 500 of them. And it's about that same time the Buddha entered the village wanting to receive some food. And the Buddha did not receive any food. So you can imagine a person being hungry. And when you are hungry, it tests your patience. You can get agitated about the experience. You can also feel peaceful on that occasion. And in the case of the Buddha, he saw his equanimity. He saw the Dhamma. He saw the true nature of the mind's responsiveness to that experience. To every experience, mind responds. And on this occasion, the Buddha named this experience as a way to address the evilness. So the Buddha named those villagers as those possessed by the evil one. And in that, this is a common occurrence in the Pali readings, that when people are busy with worldly things, then the Buddha would not hesitate to name them as those who are possessed by the evil responsibilities. But evil does not mean anything negative, but something like the mind of those villagers, 500 of them, getting possessed by this desire for indulgence. And they went into the river for bathing, and then they would get dressed to dance, to perform. So they put on makeup and they just perform as a group, like in a carnival. So this, the Buddha would say, as is a sign of lack of mindfulness, lack of paying attention to the true nature of a being. In the case of the Buddha, he's awakened and he would see his own way of being, his own mind, and he would not react. This is the power he generated through enlightenment. So he noticed this is recorded as a conversation between the evil one and the Buddha. The evil one say, "You go back to the village and there will be food." And the Buddha responds that I do not need food to be happy. There are beings who do not need much. There are beings who just delight in just knowing the truth, and that is enough. And the Buddha also mentioned that beings in a certain heavenly realm called Abhasara realm, Abhasara means luminous realm. There are beings in this heavenly realm, they are luminous. Their food is happiness, no matter what. And the Buddha sensed that he can just be like them. There is no need to worry about anything, just not receiving food that day. And keep in mind that the Buddha had set rules that monks eat only in the morning hours until the noon, and then abstain from any meals in the afternoon. With that rule, the Buddha would not be going into the village to receive food, and he does not have anything stored in the fridge for him later. So this is a situation where, he he would just accept it for what it is without having to worry about it. And he responded with a beautiful teaching here. Susukhang vata jivama yesang no natti kinchanang piti bhakha bhavisama deva abhasrayatha. So susukhang vata jivama. We shall live happily. So susukhang vata jivama. Life itself can be lived happily if only you know how the mental defilements arise. Yesang no natti kinchanam, to someone, to those who do not have any possessions. There is some deep wisdom here. When you have anything at home or anything here, I mean, having possessions nowadays is essential for people to live, but put yourself into the Buddha situation that he did not have to worry about protecting anything where he lived. He's homeless, protecting anything here, protecting anything in between. All he had in his possession was his robe and his alms bowl. Nothing more, nothing less. This is only for his survival. So he had let go that much. For a person of that being, he is just a visitor to every place he goes to. He does not bring a heavy bag with him, bag of food, bag of trail mix or anything. Just his trust that he will receive the support, the hospitality wherever he goes. If not, his mind is at ease. He does not react to it. No one can humiliate him. No one can put him down because of lack of requisites or anything. That is the kind of mind he asked monks to develop, to be a visitor, to be happy, to be content with what he has. This is like an extreme situation where he did not uh, fail. He did not, his Dhamma, his understanding did not fail him. And he says, Piti Bhakka Bhavisama, living, enjoying the food of happiness. How do we enjoy the food of happiness? Seeing that mind can react negatively to a certain situation and noticing it right there. Noticing that you have the strength of mindfulness to notice the mind's nature and accept it for what it is. Deva Abhasarayata, like the heavenly beings in the Abhasara realm, that they take happiness, they always seek happiness, that they don't have a physical body to maintain, and you can be those beings on that day, and of course you will receive food the following day. I will give an example from the worldly life. Yesterday, I received good news and bad news. Good news is from a friend in Canada who faced an interview with immigration. He had a refugee case, and he passed the interview, and he was happy. And he took an Uber and went to the temple, told the monks, and he was celebrating. And the bad news is from a different friend who was trying to enter United States and got deported. Not a um, not a real, like, not a close friend or anything, but someone known to me through different travels, and had stayed in touch with me. And I could see how both situations play differently in my mental experience. I was happy for one person, and then I was feeling sad for another person. So there are ways that the worldly experiences come to us without any warning, and of course, as a monk, we are socially engaged to some extent, and we hear such news, um, and life unfolds like that. And I could see how my mind can get little tensed. I could, pause, relax. I could also see how different individuals on a single day experience life differently. Right? So these are instances that remind us of what is the Dhamma here. So Dhamma becomes the experience. Dhamma, the experience of seeing things for as they arise and as they disappear. So to simplify it, we hear a news, and we are just, I got the call and I said, "Welcome to America." But then that's not what the actual experience was. No, I am back in Sri Lanka dealing with this situation. But there's also something positive, that they did not, give him further trouble, jailing him or anything. Someone must have reported him, all these other things. But it does not matter. But he can see his own positive side, that he's back with the family, and the life he was going to live wasn't happening, and there was so much more that he could appreciate, even amidst the crisis that he was facing, and he could just, face it for what it is. You may get shaken a little bit, but again, you gather yourself and face life again, and there's no it's never too late to start life again. That is what I would think of that person, and that's what I told him as well. And in the case of the Buddha, he was just hungry that day, and he could just go into meditation and deal with that hunger, because it is that thing that he realized about how the mind experiences, or mind interprets different experiences different times. One time, this one person praised the Buddha for eating one meal a day. And on that occasion, the Buddha said, "Do not praise me for that. There are students of the Buddha who eat even less. You should praise them for that living, that quality of them." And the Buddha said, it is the Dhamma that he understood, the teachings that he understood, the realizations he had, how, I briefly mentioned the experience of suffering arising in meditation, how hunger arises as a physical bodily experience, and applying the teachings of dependent origination. In simple terms, there is the body, there is the feeling of hunger, and you become conscious of it. And there is also the vanishing of it. When you speak to someone, you are now speaking, you are conscious on something else. So hunger disappears. You go into sleep, hunger disappears. You drink water, hunger disappears. The body gets used to it, and there's health benefits of it as well. So the dependent co-arising is a formula that is taught to us to deal with every situation. Notice the arising of things and the cessation of things every moment. And things arising do happen in your six sense faculties, and they vanish in your six sense faculties. Eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, body consciousness, all these consciousnesses arise and vanish. That is what I mean by some of the teachings that you can apply in every vicissitude of life, and simply build the resilience to be able to let go and face such situations, and see your mind can always find the balance in all these experiences. And I will say one last thing. When we went for Arms Round in Sicily, that was in 2021, with another monk and two Buddhist nuns. These people do not know Buddhist monks, and we were slightly late that day from coming from our camping site. We were camping in forest and walking down the hill to this place for alms, and we barely had any time. um, and actually, no, it was not that day. That day we received plenty of food, but another day we were camping in an actual campground, and we had breakfast with croissants and stuff. So we had some sugar in the body, and we were dropped off in the township of Agrigento by our Dhamma friends, and we had only 45 minutes. And I was slightly injured, so I could not walk. So I guarded all the belongings of our monks and nuns, and the others walked down the hill to the town to receive food, and they received nothing. And they walked back very calmly. This was such a huge teaching moment for me, to observe our monks and nuns coming back with no food and sitting calmly and opening their bowls and received. There was nothing in those bowls. There was equanimity though, no shakenness, no complaints. It was just the best teaching moment for me to see that they were just content. We did receive some food that day, though. Our supporters, brought the Italian food, some arancini, arancini is a stuffed rice thing. They pack some rice, and they make a rice bowl, and they fry it. So we had that, and another friend, Luigi, he brought some pasta for us. So we didn't go starving that day, but we didn't know that that food was coming. So But we had already accepted to go a day with no food, and we were happy and content. And such is the life of simple living. And if you can live that moment at least once, it'll be the best moment of your life. And that is how you experience this Dhamma Piti, happiness of Dhamma, happiness of seeing things as they are, without adding uh, another layer to it, saying it should be this way. It is your fault that we didn't have any food. We are late because of you. You can see all that story development in your mind. But when you drop all that, you can see equanimity. You can see things as they are. You can see this is this is nice. You can just experience hunger arising. And next day you may get food, and maybe you will get some drinks like fruit drinks or something that is allowed for monks, and you are content. That is what the Dhamma is for us to find that balance and see the truth about it without any added layers. And that is how I would read the Buddha's mind that day. To see the Buddha is to see the Dhamma teachings right there. When you see the Dhamma, you see the Buddha. That's also a statement of the Buddha. The Buddha said, those who are happy with Dhamma, they sleep happily, with no resenting, no hatred. So that's how someone would be, sleep happily, because they do not have anger toward anyone. No one has done anything wrong to them in that state of mind. That you have the wealth of understanding and wisdom that support you in all your worldly experiences. I believe that is good enough for today. Any questions before we wrap up? No? Zoom questions? Any comment? Okay, we will wrap up. We will share merits. There's another meditation starting at 7. People start to come. So I believe stopping now would be good. And thank you for joining. Please join me to share merits. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, devas and nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensation, and may they long protect you all. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. May good things happen to you. Have a beautiful rest of your evening. Thank you.